Well, it's an absolutely beautiful evening tonight. I've just come in from work. It's about 7:30 in the night and it's a beautiful blue sky. And it's nice to come out in the garden and it's still daylight. So as you know, the Arbor has been in for now a week and it seems now as if it's been in here forever. So I do want to pop out tomorrow and maybe get some plants just to put around the bottom of the base, as it is looking a little bit bare. But I would like to just thank one of my viewers for pointing out that the bottom of these arbors need to be drilled with some holes. So Tony has been out today because he's off for Easter for a week. And if you can see in there, he's just drilled 3 holes just in the bottom of the arbor. And that's just to let the water to be able to drain out of it. But as I said, we're absolutely loving this now in the garden. So I haven't had a chance this week to come out and do any tidying up. But hopefully tomorrow now will be another beautiful day. And I can come out and just have a look around the garden properly. And just to see how things are growing. And if you just look over there, just look at that growth coming on the Heuchera on the top. Wonderful. I also can't believe in the last week how much growth has gone on this tetrapanax here. And it's pushing out new leaves all the time. And just look at that. What an amazing plant. The ferns that I cut back now about a week and a half ago, they are starting now to push through with their new fronds. And I have been out and just given them a little bit of a water. The hellebores are still looking good in the garden and they are pushing through now with some lovely large leaves. And I just love the foliage on these, even when the flowers tend to fade. So last night too, I just went through the garden when I come home from work and just fed all my rhododendrons. And that was just with some liquid feed in the water. I've got 5 rhododendrons now in the garden. So I'm going to go in now. And then when I get up in the morning, see what the weather's like. And I'm hoping to go out and do a little bit of plant shopping. And I also want to pick up some feed as well for my palms. It's normally this time of year now I start off feeding them with the chicken manure pellets. So I'm going to pick some of that up too tomorrow and get stuck into feeding these lovely palms. So we've woken up today and what a change in the weather. It's absolutely pouring down here in Neath, South Wales, but it's not going to stop us. So Tony and myself are still going to make the most of the day. We're going to pop to Pontarddulais Garden Centre just to see what new stock they've got on offer. So come with us and we'll take you around the garden centre. Hopefully the weather will clear up a little bit by the time we get there. So it's a little bit different to when we were here the last time, when it was absolutely glorious sunshine last summer, but it's still pretty busy. But there's plenty to see. Some of my favourite plants there, the Heucheras, they're $11.99 each. And let's have a look and see what we've got over here. I can see a lovely palm tree there. A few of them actually, and I wonder how much these are. That one is a double trunk. Trachycarpus Virginii, but I can't see a price on that. And that large one there is £599. But that is really tall. It's a lovely large phormium there. And a nice selection of grasses too. Maybe I could pick up some grasses. I've never really had much luck with the black grasses in my garden. But they have got a lovely selection here. And I'm looking for something really just to go underneath the arbour. So I'll have to have a look and see what I can find. There's a few nice ones on offer here. So me and Tony have come under the covers because it's raining really heavily outside. But just look at all the beautiful acres that we've got here behind us. And this is one of my favourite areas in this particular garden centre, plants for shady areas. And there's some wonderful plants, some fatsias, scheffleras, acers. Just look at all the lovely colours here. And plenty of ferns as well. Beautiful plants. And just tucked at the back there, there's a lovely mahonia, winter sun. I've got one of them in my garden. And just look at the beautiful leaves on that. And I also love these in the garden, holly ferns. I've got a few of them and they always do really well in my garden. Beautiful ferns. I love the colour on that Heuchera. A Heuchera coral berry. It's £11.99, but it's a lovely colour on the leaves. Shall I get it or not? Some lovely Fatsia japonica here. And I take it by the leaves, that's the camouflage. Lovely colouring on that there. So I'm going to brave it out in the rain. And what I'm really looking for is a climber of some sort to go up the new arbour. So let's have a look and see what they've got. So there's plenty here. Now this is what I was hoping I'd find here. A good selection of climbers. So really I'm looking for something that's evergreen. There we are, what's that there? A lovely jasmine. Now I've already got one of these, but I think that would look really nice. Climbing up the new arbour. So I think I'll pop one of them in as well. How much are they? £26.99. So they're certainly not cheap, but it is looking in good quality there. Yes, let's have one of them, I think. Pop it in the trolley. So I've got a few of them out to have a look. And I think that one there in the centre is definitely the one to go for. And it's already got some flowers coming out on the top. So that one too is going in the trolley. And coming back now to the double trunk Trachycarpus Virginii. And that one is £2.99. So now you know. No, we don't need a plant pot, I don't think. Although if we did, this is definitely the place to come and get one. Look how much they got here. A really good selection. But we don't need another one. Because you were looking for a newer Garvey, but they haven't got any in stock. Yeah, so... How much is it? £30. That's not bad. That is a nice pot, that. $29.99.
You was getting off my green Garvey?
Oh, to be honest, there's a smaller one there for £20. So what you want to do then is buy a newer Garvey, something that's a little bit more
Green. More
hardy, yes, and then take
Put the other one into that.
the other one and put into there, and then put the hardier one in the ground. Yes, okay, then pop that one in the trolley. For £30, we'll keep that for a later date. Lovely. And they've also got really small trachycarpus for Chinyai there. $14.99 for that size. That's a lovely looking little plant. Quite healthy, got some new growth coming in the centre there. £15, can't go wrong. They are the largest rhododendron buds there that I've ever seen. Just look how large they are. They're absolutely huge in comparison to another one there. They're going to be huge red flowers. I've never seen anything like that before. They are massive. And they've actually got in stock as well the bicolour bromeliads, and they're £20 for that size. Beautiful plants, and when they come out in their flowers they look absolutely stunning, but these do grow into quite a large plant. So I think I've decided on these three here to go underneath the arbour. Lovely. Well, I didn't know you could buy hedgehog food. Hedgehog blend, $3.99. And another thing that they didn't have in B&M is the fat balls. So we'll pick up some more here, $9.99. How many's in there, Tony?
Oh, I'm not counting it.
So we're back now from the garden centre, and I've got to be honest, I'm really pleased with this star jasmine plant. It's a good size. I know it wasn't the cheapest, but it does seem to be in quite good condition. This was $26.99, and it says it's star jasmine, highly scented white flowers over several weeks in midsummer, set against dense evergreen leaves that develop good red autumn tints. And it'll grow 5 metres by 5 metres, and it does well in full sun or part shade. And it's totally winter hardy. So this will be going against my arbour, and hopefully this will grow quite well this year. I have got a star jasmine against this trellis here, but it is in the shade slightly, so it's not fast growing. It's doing well, but it's not as fast growing as I would have expected. So I'm hoping with this one being in full sun that this will do really well. So let me just take you through what else I bought. So we'll start off with this lovely Heuchera, and this is a coral berry. That was $11.99. Lovely colour on that. And just to the left of that That was $10.99, and that's a Carex Everest. I've got plenty of them in the garden, and I know that they do well. And these two plants, I haven't heard of these ones before, and these were only $6.99 each. But a beautiful looking grass. A lazula, I think you pronounce that. Not something that I've come across before, but they are going to be going down by the Arbor somewhere. So I've also got this really large Heuchera here on the corner of one of the beds, and this has really filled out a lot, so it could really be dug up and split now to make lots of new plants. Those come out quite easily. Just a little bit more there at the back. And that should be enough to lift it out completely. Give it a shake. Oh, look at all them plants in there. So I've lifted out now the old Heuchera from the ground, and I can already see that there's a lot of plants going on there. So I've laid it on an old shower curtain that I had in the shed just to make the job a little bit easier. And I'm going to see now how easy it is to split. So this isn't a job that I've done before, but it can't be that difficult. So let's just grab hold of a section at a time and just tease them out and see what I can come up with. You can see the old plant in there and lots of new ones. So there's an awful lot of mess left over, but believe it or not, I've made 11 Heuchera plants out of that. So the wind now is definitely picking up in the garden, but you can see there that I've managed to plant back in 2 of the Heuchera plants as they had roots on, and I've just dotted a few more around the garden in different places. I've planted one on the end of the bed there, and just look inside the greenhouse just how many cuttings I've got in here now. And this is the first time that I've done any Heuchera cuttings, so fingers crossed now that everything will grow okay. I'll keep them watered, and you can see there that everything is ready for the palm feeding. And I've got my chicken manure pellets now ready. So I've had a little play about as well of where I'm thinking of putting the grasses. And I've also got that lovely Heuchera there ready to plant. And that is going to be where the new jasmine plant is going to be. So that can go all the way up the arbor. Lovely. When it flowers, you'll be able to smell the flowers as you walk through. So I hope you enjoyed a little trip around the garden centre today with Tony and myself, and watching how I've done my Heuchera cuttings. It's the first time that I've done them, so all going well, they'll start to grow soon. So until next time, thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. It's completely free to do so, and it really does help out the channel. So take care everyone. See you soon. Bye for now.